be watching the Desperados' sure-handed wide receiver. He starts play fourth in the NFL in receiving yardage. It's the Desperados and the Chargers under the lights on Sunday night.
Night beginning to fall over Southern California, but the lights are shining bright here at the spectacular SoFi Stadium in metropolitan Los Angeles. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between our visitors and the Los Angeles Chargers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gardner. Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. And they'll be let out by their left-handed quarterback.
If you ask coaches at any level to design their ideal leader of a team, I think they're going to check every box with this guy. He's got the poise to handle responsibility. He stays calm under any kind of pressure, and he brings out the best of his teammates each and every week.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not the start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. From the gun, he'll hand this off. Only a couple there, as he'll be brought down about the 28. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. He'll look to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
I really don't think you can fault the decision-making here, because your offense and quarterback, they really had a big week last week, and you're ready for them to go again here. Not the anticipated result, of course, but you definitely understand why they did what they did. That quarterback's been hot. You want to keep the ball in his hands and see if he can keep the magic going.
So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And we get a glance at their leader in the huddle, the veteran, in his 9th season now in the league.
And he's certainly putting together an MVP-type season, leading the league in both passing yards and touchdown passes. There have not been too many defenses have been able to stop him or even slow him down. So he's got his sights set on another big game right here.
He'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. 2nd and 6. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Oh, breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially as pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Over the middle, complete. It's Ferguson. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. Again, he'll drop to throw. Toward the sideline, and that is a nice catch as he's able to tiptoe his way out of bounds. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
Good, sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They run the counter. Addison, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. The numbers for him from a week ago: 15 carries, 53 yards.
One thing I do know, teams in the NFL don't treat this like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter. It's been mentioned all week long about going out and getting him the rushing title. He'll see the ball, and he'll see it often.
And he's brought down, but not before a gain of 13, down to the 13. 1st and 10 in the red zone.
No surprise to see him running again here. It's something he's done throughout this season, and that run puts him over 500 yards on the ground for the year. He's got to be thinking to himself, if I'm already at 500, what's to stop me from going for 1,000?
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 4 yards to go on 2nd down from the 7. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Touchdown! A great play there. His 25th touchdown. tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Desperados take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
This fielded right at the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Heading back out, the Chargers offense. We get a peek at the playoff picture of the AFC. Well, including this week, 3 weeks remain in the regular season, Charles. And it is going to be interesting to see how this playoff picture sorts itself out before we head into the postseason.
Competitive, entertaining postseason. That's what we're always striving for. I think we get it during the regular season, too, because you never know how things are going to go during the final weeks of the season. Every team pulling out all the stops to get a better seed or just to get one of those 7 seats at the table.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Now he's going to go deep down the left side, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got him the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
The defense was ready for the run-pass option, diagnosed it perfectly.
Not only did they stack him up at the point of attack, but he was met by a host of light-colored jerseys.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Back to throw here. Flush to his right. And he slides to avoid the hit. Backed up here. Tough spot. Needing 11 yards to pick up the first. They'll set up to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 95 catches for him now on the year, and it's a 1st down.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Now a handoff up the middle. Addison. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Here's a 2nd and 7. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. This drive's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Up the middle they go. Addison. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Desperados have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, and not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And the Chargers coming out on the field now. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 17 carries, 76 yards.
And when he went over 1,000 yards last week, you know what it did for their offense? It gave them a true identity because everyone's going to talk about this. The offensive line's going to take pride in it. Of course, the guy carrying the football will. But how about the coaching staff? When they go in and talk contracts, when they talk to reporters, hey, we had a 1,000-yard rusher this year. That means something in today's NFL.
And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. On is the Chargers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Fielded just inside the 30. It's a 41-yard punt, but just a net of 31 following the run back. And they will take over 1st and 10. Houston's offense taking over again. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys. So they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? That would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. With a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Desperados are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yes.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Nifty move. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
And now out comes Houston. But Charles, they're really stringing these possessions and scores together early. We're still in the first quarter, but if they can score again here, look out.
Yeah, and as you taught me when we're broadcasting games, one word we're supposed to avoid, and that's blowout. But that's exactly what's going on here. Down 3 possessions just the first quarter. That goes beyond any worst-case scenario we might have thought coming into this game. And another touchdown here, that should eliminate any hopes for any type of a comeback.
A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season He needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. They'll drop the throw. Slant pass, it's Ferguson. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
Remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They'll run on 1st down. Addison, and he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it will set him back for 2nd down.
Have to give credit for a nice play there, but also have to look at it as a blown assignment. He became a free runner that turned into a free hitter.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. And this one is right through. And the route is on. It's 24-0. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
He'll try to shake off the cobwebs from the interception he threw on the previous drive that led to the field goal. As now they're dealing with a little bit bigger of a deficit. 1st and 10. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Now back to throw. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this 1st quarter. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Now the try here for the point after. And the route is on here in this 1st half. We are in for a good one as we're through 1 on EA Sports. Back here with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We've had the kickoff to begin the 1st quarter. Now it's time for the 2nd quarter kickoff. This taken in at the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Pressure comes and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's 1st sack of the game. A CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
And this came from the interior of the defensive line. And these guys, they're normally anchors of that spot. And they don't often get clear shots at the quarterback. But in this case, he got past the center and the guard in no time and got there to make the play.
2nd and 15. Quick hitter here, it's complete. The Chargers on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 11. He'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. And that is incomplete. On is the Chargers punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this 1st half as he gets it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that one going to be off target and incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Houston. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Out comes the kid. He knocks another one through to extend the lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and the result, a Houston touchdown. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. The Chargers ready to take over. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. They'll look to throw here. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. Houston set to take over. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 16 more on that one and another 1st down.
And partner, they're locked in man coverage out left and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. They're going to look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
Well, they'll use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. That is caught at the 7. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
On 1st down, Addison. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Second and goal from inside the 5. He'll drop to throw. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. From 4 yards out. And the Desperados are able to add on to their first half lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Now the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So the drive there took 6 plays. And the result, a Houston touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
That's another Chargers first down. First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Right back to him on first down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
At the 46-yard line.
Back to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
On first and 10, it's Carter. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
He'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll work this down inside the 30. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Out is their quarterback with this offense to take over once more. He's been unstoppable in this first half. 4 touchdown passes on the ledger already. Closing in on the all-time record in the first half, by the way, which is 6 touchdown passes. As this drive starts 1st and 10. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide. And these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. They'll set up a throw. Escaping the pressure right. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Complete to number 24.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
They'll look to throw again. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Leonard. And he's going to get this down near the 25. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Desperados just continue to roll. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort, so maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. Extra point splits the uprights, and a rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Here's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the play did on the last one.
2nd and 14. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Forced to the ground and incomplete.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
So a change of possession here on the punt. This offense back to work now late in this first half. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. From there, we're off to check out another game. And as you see, they were losers earlier this afternoon. The Monarchs let a few too many slip away over the course of the year, but a victory there does get them back to 8-8 with 1 game to go. And then finally, a good one on Monday Night Football to wrap up the week between the Buffalo Bills and what equates to be a very tough opponent. We'll continue on and take a look at the next-gen stats from the first half. And their quarterback's got to be icing his arm in that locker room as we speak. He is on pace to shatter some long-standing records if this pace keeps up.
Meanwhile, for the Chargers, they were on the other end of the spectrum in terms of passing efficiency. That's going to need to improve in the second half to come.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And he returns this to the 22. And this offense set to go now to begin the third quarter. They go play action here on first down. Throw left side complete. That's Leonard. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
It's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game. But in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
On second down now. Addison, room here to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 43 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Running game working, they'll stick with it on first down. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That good for 22 and a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he's going to get this down near the 25. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Here we go. Ready?
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He finds his man, complete. That's Ferguson. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. 2nd and 5. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Back to throw again. And the throw there going to be incomplete. And for the second time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They'll look to throw here on first down. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And this is picked up by the defense. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right? And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. 26 yards. And the Desperados are able to capitalize on the forced fumble by turning it into 6 points. A familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this third quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get...
And now here is another interception. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Well, that is now his 5th interception thrown in this game. And, Charles, you've got to tip your cap to this defense. I mean, they have been so impressive reading these passes, stepping in those lanes, and picking them off.
Yeah, sometimes the best offense is an excellent defense, and they've done exactly that. What do you think, partner? A season's worth of highlights in just 4 quarters? I think that's what we're seeing from this group.
And now out comes Houston. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's 2nd down and 10.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
It's a gain of 4. And it's 3rd down.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. Touchdown. A great play there. 32 yards. And the Desperados take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
Chargers, nothing.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. Well, the disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
2nd and 6. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. And my goodness, another interception. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. They're obviously right now in the driver's seat, comfortably ahead. They've scored on a couple straight possessions, Charles, and I mean, for them, I guess it's just more of the same, right? Keep doing what you've been doing.
Yeah, it's not typical for us to see games out of reach in the 3rd quarter. Right now, they're unstoppable in this one. And seeing how they just came out onto the field, it does appear like they're done scoring points in this one. They look awfully confident. 75
yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key 1st downs and big runs.
Check, pitch, set, go.
They'll run on 1st down. Addison, and they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Chargers' 27-yard line.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. So the completion gets him just a yard, and that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course, you got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
They'll drop to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. This is a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, the only silver lining on the other sideline, CD, is that they kept him out of the end zone, but still, that's another 3 points added on to this large lead.
Yeah, no shortage of scoring or big plays on defense in this one. And even up by 4 possessions, still finding ways to create opportunities and capitalize with points.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. So out come the Chargers. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And we all know how talented this guy is who's calling the signals for him. But even the best in the game, they can struggle against a good, cohesive zone coverage. Can't find a gap in the secondary quick enough, and he ends up taking a sack.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Back to throw here. Pass incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he is going to have the Chargers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Carter straight ahead. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll look to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. A give up the middle to Carter. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Looking to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now back to throw. And Anderson's got it. And he's going to get this down near the 25. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 2nd and 9 now. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. So they need 6 yards here on 3rd down. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down tries so far on this drive. Hands it off out of the gun. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3.
Now that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
So on 4th down, Matt Rule brings out the field goal unit. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out. So it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg. And they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Houston set to take over. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I
we
enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win one of these games.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a throw? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we have to put at #1 for what we've seen this season.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Johnson on the return. 51 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Gomez. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. Again, he'll drop to throw. And now here is another interception. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because
Your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll keep it on the ground. Addison, and he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 86 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. On second down, Addison. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. On third down, Addison. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
And the LA offense ready for this next possession. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete.
Complete to number 15. No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10.
They'll look to throw again. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This is 3rd and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. On is the Chargers punter now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. Now comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground. Addison, and he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. The offense back out on the field here following the 2-minute warning. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here 1st and 10. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
118 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
On first down, Addison. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Tackle made right at midfield. A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
On second down now, Addison. And he'll get it down here to the 43. That one a first down pickup of 8.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey,